out-hustled, and that is a problem. You can't be out-hustled whenever you're a team like this.
No.
Like, I feel like
you have to outwork everybody.
Yeah, if you're a team that can shoot everything, is just like, is working the ball around, doing all that, every once in a while, like a team's going to come in and they're going to out-hustle you a little bit because you're finesse and you got all the answers to everything else. But a team like this has to out-hustle everybody. And it makes no sense because, especially if Giannis isn't playing and he's not doing everything, how are they not just hustling all the time and giving max effort?
Well, and I just sent you the rundown, so it should be in your email inbox.
Oh, thank goodness. I was lost.
Yep. But to your point about hustling goes exactly to some of the stats that I put on the rundown. Rebounds, Boston, 54-41. Not close. Assists, Boston, 31-18. So there's where you talk about
awful.
Right.
18 assists.
Absolutely brutal.
Bucks.
Turnovers, Bucks, 16-10. So the Bucks a lot of times in the NBA, you know this, Mason.
Yeah.
You look at assist to turnover ratio. That's a big thing.
Yeah.
18-16 for the Bucks. 31-10 for Boston. If you're 1-1 and the other team's 3-1, that's like losing the turnover battle by 3. How many football games do the Green Bay Packers win when they lose the turnover margin by 3 or more?
Yeah, I mean, that is literally every coach's, like, that's what they hang their hat on.
Yeah,
is turnover margin. And you look at this, so too, that's okay. Are they the wrong players on this team, or are they just not being coached up like the right way? Like the players like the guys that are on this team, because I'm like, that is a cohesive, that's a chemistry thing. Yeah. When you're turning the ball over that much and you're not able to assist your teammates, like whenever Giannis was on that court, it was basically the Giannis show. Like he looked good, but it was everybody else just get outside, stand around. There was no movement. It didn't feel like they were working together in any form or fashion.
Right.
Any shot that went up was just like uncontested on the rebound side of things. And to me, that's a chemistry issue, and that starts at the top, and that starts from coaching.
Yes.
Yes. And I know
Preach.
They fire coaches. They're paying all these other coaches that they've let go. And so I don't think that this Bucks organization has an issue with finding personnel and trying to go out there and get the right players. Mm-hmm. I think it has an issue with evaluating what kind of coach they need to lead this team.
Yeah.
Because they just can't seem to get that right now.
And so many points to pick at from the game last night. 414-677-1250 is the Nicolay Law Talk and text line. If you had thoughts from the game last night, if you have thoughts about the Bucks overall, because not that we're looking ahead yet, but tomorrow night at 8:30, the Hawks are in town.
Yeah.
And if the Bucks beat the Hawks, all of a sudden we're going to say, oh, well, they could catch the Hawks. Maybe they could catch the Hawks. If they lose the game, I mean, John Kuhn said it on his show, Mason. If the Bucks lose to the Hawks this season, it's over.
It's over.
And I tend to agree with that. But I'm looking at the game last night, and they start Porter Jr. and Green, Turner, Jang, and Antetokounmpo. So Ryan Rollins goes to the bench. He's the de facto leader of the second squad.
Do you like that, Green over Rollins? Do you just think he's a better shooter, like just a post-up shooter?
I mean, he played 18 minutes and didn't score. He was 0 for 3. So
no.
No.
So then no.
And but I also understand, like, you need that spark off the bench. And Ryan Rollins, and it's either Rollins or Porter,
guy.
Right?
Yeah.
But to start, Ousmane Dieng plays 30 minutes. Actually, was second on the team in scoring with 13 points, 5 for 10 from the field, 3 for 7 from 3. But
I think he's going to be a good player.
I think he might be, but Kuzma doesn't play.
Yeah, and that was weird, right?
And Kuzma, listen, we all agree that Kuzma is not who we wanted him to be when they traded Chris Middleton for Kyle Kuzma. Kuzma is not the player he was on the Lakers in 2020 when we thought he was going to be this sharpshooter and slasher, potential all-star.
But since Giannis has not been playing, like, Kuzma's been playing okay.
And
like,
kind
of a
floor general, Mason.
Yeah, he's actually been like kind of the guy out there.
Right.
Yeah.
He gets a few rebounds. He gets a few assists. He's not great, but he knocks down some shots. So, like, with Giannis back, those 25 minutes had to go somewhere. And with Dieng playing 30, where he's been averaging, 20 or something, those minutes had to go somewhere. And now all of a sudden, it's like, I mean, again, like AJ Green starts, 0 for 3, no points. Miles Turner starts 1 for 6, 5 points in 19 minutes. Even Kevin Porter only took 6 shots. Like, he had 8 points. He was 3 for 6. Like, but not, Rollins did take 11 shots off the bench as that spark, but he was 2 for 11. Like, it just, they never could get that vibe going that they needed to get, Mace.
What do you do? I want to ask you this question as our resident basketball guy. Do you like Giannis, like, at that point, and just kind of like how that feels and like the rhythm of the game whenever he's just taking the ball down the court, kind of setting up the offense, doing all the things? Because I'm watching the Celtics on the other side, and it's like their drives to the basket and then dishing it out to the 3-point, like to the edges. Like the Bucks tried that. I think Giannis tried that a couple times. He drove in, and that is not his skill set, is then to dish it to somebody as like 2 defenders come to him.
And it's a little bit like Giannis is okay at that. They've played point forward with Giannis before, but with having KPJ and Rollins on the team, with the way they've played for the past 15 games, like, it's hard to go from I'm the man, I need to create, I'm the point guard, Rollins and Porter, they're creating everything. Everything comes from them. And then all of a sudden Giannis comes back and it's like, all right, what do we do now? And it's just confusing.
Again, that's a coach issue.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm coaching, I'm like, Giannis, we're going to get you back in the fold. We're going to stick with the guys, controlling the ball. We're going to get you in positions and matchup situations that are favorable for you to do your thing under the hoop.
Yeah.
Like, in my mind, I'm just like, that's how you bring Giannis back into the fold, instead of just saying like, all right, now we're just going to, we're only going to play you 20 minutes, but you're going to, you're just going to have the ball the whole time, and we're just going to stand around while you do your thing and then not get rebounds. Like, I feel like that's gross.
I totally agree. We're going to go old school radio here, Mason. We're just throwing people on the air. I think this is Brian. Brian, you're up on the Mason Crosby Show.
Am I there?
Is this Brian in McGuanago?
No, this is not Brian
from
McGuanago.
Who is it?
This is Brian from Valders.
Oh, Brian from Valders, even better. Although we love you, Brian from McGuanago. Just kidding.
All
Brian
right,
from Valders, you're first up on the Mason Crosby Show.
All right, guys. I listened to Rami and them talk a little bit about this morning, and I'll be honest with you, the Bucks are just a hot mess right now.
Yep.
And I really do not want them even to play in, because so why would you want to be just in the play in if you're not in to win anything? Why be in it at all? And to me, I can't believe I'm going to say this because I love Giannis to death. I think he's been a fixture of Milwaukee for a long time. But I'll be honest with you, I even feel like he seems overwhelmed, and he just doesn't seem like. When I watch him play, it used to be he looked so confident in whatever he did, and even now he looks like he's there and he's not there. And to Mason's point, I kind of saw that in the game last night.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah, you're right, Brian. Thanks for the call.
Totally agree. Yeah, Brian, I totally agree. I think it just feels like this isn't much of a team, right? Like this is a collection of players that has not figured out how to be a team.
And Giannis talked about it a little bit after the game, Mason, about like how he's 31 now. He's not 24. He's not old, but he can't quite do all the things he used to be able to do.
Yeah.
And I have some good audio too about like when he thinks this could mesh. And he said, well, it better happen quickly. We'll listen to that in a second. Next up on the Mason Crosby Show, you're on the air. Who we got right now?
This Ram.
Oh, Ram. How you doing,
What's
my
up,
friend?
Ram?
What do you got for us today?
How you doing?
I'm good, man. Good to hear from you. It's been a little while.
Yeah, I know. You be on the move a lot.
I have been. I've been moving around.
Well, you got to do that, man. You got to
exactly.
The radio business is like that. You know that. You on the radio with a good guy right there. I'm really strong on the basketball side, but I got to start with the general manager. I'm sorry. I know I'm going against the grain against a lot of the callers, but just like you know in pro football, you got to have studs to win, or definitely all-star caliber players. So, I'm a big Doc Rivers fan. I met him as a high school player, and what people fail to forget, when he came out of high school, he was the top player in the nation. So don't pretend like he don't know what talent looks like. And I hear these callers calling in and they really don't know.
Ram, but I think the game has passed him by. Like
No,
I agree.
so. I
love Doc
disagree.
as a person. I just don't think it. I don't think this is the right roster for him. Like I think
I
you're
don't
right.
Think it's I don't think it's the right set of players.
So that's why you're saying the GM, right? Like there's a disconnect where
well,
they're not
like
bringing the right players for who they have in charge at the head coach.
Right. Why did we trade Drew? We just start with that.
Because
there's no reason for Drew to be traded and bring Dame here. I didn't understand that one.
Because Dame is across the board. Defensively, Drew is better, but by every other metric, Dame is one of the best point guards in the history of the NBA.
Dame should have worked, and
Drew
it didn't
is
work.
The best. Drew at that time was one of the top 10 two-way players.
But they didn't need a two-way player. They needed offense because Middleton was done. They needed an offensive player.
But what I'm saying is Dame is not Curry. He don't
but he's close.
The game like that.
But he's close. He just was never healthy. Right, but he was never Ram. It doesn't matter. The team was never healthy. They never had Dame, Chris, and Giannis healthy together. The conversation doesn't matter. The conversation doesn't matter.
What I'm saying is the question goes back. When they were talking about this two-man role with him and that, me being a player, I didn't see it. I saw two ball-dominant players. I didn't see it.
Well, it was definitely two ball-dominant players. I will agree with that, where Drew was a better fit. But they needed, if they didn't make that trade, they would have had to make some other trade, because having Drew as your number 2 offensive option means you are a broke offensive team, and this team would have been even worse.
Yeah, but then Dame was killing you on the defense. He was getting cooked.
I agree. You're not wrong, Ram. Thanks for the call.
All right. Yep.
A lot of opinion. I mean, listen, Mace, there's a lot of emotion going on. Let's go to one more. Al's in Cedarburg. Al, you're on the Mason Crosby Show.
Fellas. All right. I'm so glad that Ram could call in, because I kind of missed some of his nonsense. So I just want to touch on like 2 quick things that he said. First and foremost, Doc being a top 10 high school player in the nation has nothing to do with his coaching ability.
Agreed.
It has nothing to do with his player evaluation. Mitch, you nailed it. The game has passed Doc by. Any person who lets a team go on a 26-0 run and not call a timeout like he did in the Bulls, that should say everything. Yep. I mean, he has lost this team. He has lost this locker room. And I kind of disagree in the sense that if this roster is not built for what to win, because quite frankly, the fact that we're even 26-34 with Doc losing some of the games that he is solely responsible for is an anomaly to me. And then back to his point about Drew Holiday. The reason we traded Drew Holiday was simply the fact that, and Mitch, you touched on it slightly, but we needed to unlock the insane potential that the pick and roll that Giannis and Dame would have been able to do. You look back at our last 2 playoff series when Drew was playing, look at his 3-point percentage, look at his 2-point percentage. He could not hit an open shot anymore. We did not have any offensive ability. So at the end of the day, I'm frustrated because I probably think it's because we don't want to pay 3 coaches, but Doc Rivers being our head coach is crippling this organization, and it has crippled Giannis. I'm going to hang up, drop the mic. Peace out, fellas. Thank you.
Thanks for the call, Al. Like nice and done. What do you think, Mace?
Yeah, I from my perspective, watching the games, especially this year, and Giannis and how he's playing, it just, again, it doesn't feel like a team.
Right.
Like, again, when they won the championship, when they had Middleton and Drew Holiday, and it was like, Portis is a little younger, and like this team, and Giannis was playing a role like as a basketball player.
Yep. Now
I just don't even see. I'm like the style of play he's playing, I don't know if it fits on many teams, right? Like it's just kind of like there's no real basketball being played. Yeah, and that I think gets that bothers me, and that to me does go to coaching.
Yeah,
I'm like, well, Giannis wants to be here. He is here. You didn't trade him, so you got to say, hey, we're going to get back to you come up top, pick and roll a little bit. Like let's move you around and get matchups instead of just it being this ISO game where nobody else can get in a rhythm, nobody else can feel comfortable, and then it just like the game of basketball ceases to exist with this Milwaukee Bucks team.
Yeah, it's a rough watch right now. I mean, last night, Jaylen Brown doesn't play. Nemias Quetta, who had led the team on Sunday night with like 28 or 29 points, he doesn't play because of rest, the starting center for the Celtics. Yeah. And it's like, I mean, it was an interesting collection of cats out there for the Celtics, and they just blew them out because they play basketball. Like they move the ball, They communicate on D, and the Bucks are just like out there. Like I just don't. I don't know. Let's you know what? Let's get to Tommy. What do you think?
Yeah,
let's
see
bring
what
Tommy
Tommy's
in.
up to down there in the desert.
Hopefully he's eating. Well, hopefully he's eating just meat, not the breads.
Oh no, come on, Tommy.
Yeah, and having fun out there. I know he's already done a whole bunch of interviews today. We might get to one later on in the show as well. We'll talk to him about that. The Bucks, they are who they are, and I don't. And I know we like. If they beat Atlanta, they're back in it. They're just not in it. Like even if they beat Atlanta, even if they sweep Atlanta, even if they make a run to the 10, like that doesn't mean they're good.
Yeah,
they're just not good right now. He's Mason Crosby. I'm Mitch Nellis, aka Thunder. We are the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon. This is the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon. I'm Mitch Nellis. He's Mason Crosby. Mace, how's your Tuesday?
Tuesday, good so far.
Right, today's Tuesday, right?
It is Tuesday. Yeah, I was trying to think. Uneventful so far. Had some, plumbers out. Just taking care of a few things. Ordered.
So nothing wrong. Nothing wrong.
New,
just taking
fridges.
Taking care of stuff. Nothing's wrong.
There's something that needs to be adjusted. Yeah,
okay.
There's a couple things that have been wrong that we are. Yeah, that we.
I got a good one if you need one in Milwaukee. Just letting you know.
Good plumbers are very useful, and I hate water issues. It's my least favorite thing in the world.
We had the same toilet since we bought the house 13 years ago.
Oh, nice.
And it stopped working 6 months ago, but me being cheap-ish and wiggling it and making
Didn't
it work.
want to get a toilet.
I figured out how to jiggle it.
Yeah.
But then we had, the people over for the birthday party, and Mrs. Thunder was like, I'm not having 80 people in the house and a toilet that's broken.
Let's get a new toilet.
So we got a new toilet. Guy came right over, installed it because I'm useless. We actually had a couple other things. We had something in the
I'm not messing with toilets.
No.
I mean, you mess that seal up or you do something like that.
Yeah.
It's like electricians, a good plumber. I mean, it costs you $100. Let's get that thing done.
I don't know if this dude messes with toilets, but joining us now on the Mason Crosby Show, the one, the only, the Tommy Wirtz, T-Dub, Thomas K.
Maybe he's the one that broke your toilet.
Oh. Ooh. Okay, so fun fact, I did a little bit of plumbing yesterday because I did clog the toilet in the Airbnb.
Oh, my God.
Got it all figured out, though. If you
Did
need
it
me to
just
take a
plunger?
look, Mason,
Plunger?
Yeah, just good old-fashioned in-home plumbing right now.
Nice.
So if you need me to take a look, Mason, I have an experience or two with that. Mason's got the most plumbers in his house of anyone I've ever heard in my life. He's got a plumber in his house every week working on something.
Yes, we do. Well, honestly, I actually have
kids.
two separate ones today. So we had a new plumber in today, resolving the issues from the previous plumber who installed a water softener. And it literally had been dumping hundreds of gallons of water every couple days. And our water bill was going through the roof. And we're like, what's going on?
414-677-1250. Comment if you've ever had two plumbers in your house at one time.
Separately, working on different things.
Right.
Not working on the same.
I love it.
Because, a lot of people have had two plumbers working on one issue or working on separate issues. Tell me, how you doing, brother? How's it going?
Dude, it is sunny out here.
Do I hear birds? Do I hear birds?
There are birds.
I hear cheeping.
There might be birds around here. I have the AirPods in to try to help. They're probably going to die at some point in this. Didn't charge those overnight. Had to make sure the phone was charged. But yeah, we've been here.
Mason, you can only charge one thing at once.
Yeah, can't get two chargers, apparently.
Heaven forbid you have more than one cord.
I never have more than one plumber and never more than one charger. Those are the two
that's
rules I live by.
No more than one charger is not a that's not a ridiculous thing. You could probably get two chargers. That's
unbelievable.
I have two chargers for sure. I just didn't use one of them. Regardless, it's 11:30 here in Phoenix, and we've been here since 7:30 this morning, working on stuff. We had media availability. There is going to be just a ton of great stuff going on Wisconsin Sports Radio Network over the next couple of days. I think we got 7 interviews in today, plus a one-on-one with Pat Murphy, exclusive coming up at 6 o'clock tonight on Spring Training Live with me and Tim Allen. It is beautiful out here, guys, though. I mean, it's been amazing. Great first
Do you have your
day.
sunscreen on?
I have no sunscreen on. I never have more than 0 sunscreen on my skin either, which is probably bad advice to give to people, but I'm just calling it how it is. That's how I do it over here, guys. This is amazing, though. It's my first time ever at the ballpark. Fun fact, I think we've talked about this, me and Mitch, maybe me and Mason have separately, but I don't know if I've said this on air. My first ever job in sports, I worked for the Milwaukee Brewers. I worked for the grounds crew, so those guys pulling the rakes in between the innings, and maintenance on the field. That was my first job in sports. I was 18, just out of high school, the first season after. And the fun thing is, when I get a different job in sports and I need to get applied for a media credential, the Milwaukee Brewers decided that they would use my headshot from when I was 18 years old for the Milwaukee Brewers.
Of
And
course
I'm
they
wearing
did. I love that.
a Wisconsin hockey sweater, like for no reason. I don't even know where that went or is. I have no facial hair. I look like I'm 16 in this photo. But they have me on file because I worked for the Brewers. And that's my media credential photo now here as well. But it's been awesome.
Not let you in, man. Yeah.
I don't look the same at all. I don't look the same at all.
That's amazing.
But it's beautiful here. It's great. We're getting excited. Game's in about an hour and a half. We got a little bit of downtime technically, but I'm behind on everything. It feels like I got Sparky texting me. I got Rami texting me. I got family texting me.
What do they need?
You guys,
what do they need?
They're only human. Everyone wants a piece of Tommy. All right. I can't help it right now. But I'm working hard. And
Mason, I don't know what to do with him. I don't know what to do with this kid.
I don't know.
Unbelievable.
Well, if you saw my name, if we had the names up, I know I don't, but I put Tommy parentheses too big time right now. I really do feel it again today.
Time.
Too big time. I'm not
big time.
I have
Tommy,
no idea
but
what I'm
too
supposed
big
to do.
time.
I have no idea what to do.
So tell everybody somebody you've talked to today. Give us a little nugget.
I'm going to get one for you guys to play if you need it for this show. Otherwise, do what you want with it. I think some of the best stuff we have today is from a lot of the arms. We talked to Shane Drowan, obviously coming over via trade today. That was a great interview. Coming up on Spring Training Live today, Jake Bowers, of course.
Oh, yes.
Are you guys besties?
Besties?
That's we talked about radio ideas with him, and quite frankly, I think he's in. Morning show with Jake Bowers, call it Wake and Jake. And that's kind of been the best idea I've had all day at this point right now. But we talked to Jet Williams. We talked to Coleman Crow. That's going to be a good one coming up tonight on Spring Training Live. And, of course, the one-on-one we got with Pat Murphy was phenomenal, talking about just, expectations this year based on performance last year. We got a nice little baseball card conversation. Tim's big into baseball cards. I didn't realize that. And it's not something that I really got into, even though I love the sport of baseball. But I feel like I'm living through Tim a little bit with this baseball card journey. So a lot of good stuff coming up. I know Wisconsin Sports Daily is going to have some great interviews as well that we got from earlier today. But all in all, I think we did 8 interviews with players and Murphy from 8 to 9:30, and
just
then
pounding him out.
We had Murph after his briefing, so about 10:30 we had Murph, but it was pretty much me not stop talking from 7:30 to 10:30 this time here.
Kind of feels like the segment right now. Tell me what.
All right, thanks. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Tommy Wirtz joining us on the Mason Crosby Show. He's down in Arizona for the week with Tim Allen. They are doing unbelievable work, the best Brewers coverage there is. You mentioned the first name you mentioned there was Shane Drohan, and I don't know if were you guys talking about this yesterday, or did I hear somebody's talking about Shane Drohan like this year he's going to be really good and used in a bunch of different ways, but that at some point he's going to be an absolute stud. Is that what people think about Shane Drohan? That like he might be the sneak attack of this Caleb Durbin trade, that he might be the stud from this trade?
Well, also coming up, we asked Pat Murphy about what are the qualifications of quantum leap, right? We've heard that phrase with Pat Murphy and most famously with Bryce Sarang and how it really panned out for him to make a quantum leap. I have Shane Drohan at 2027 quantum leap. That's where I was talking with Steve Sparky Fife from Wisconsin Sports Daily. I think he's going to be used in a Corbin Burns, get him up to the big leagues like role, Mitch, where it is this year he's going to get meaningful relief outs this year for this big league club. And then they're going to ease him into it. They have so many pitchers this year that they got to get used to and see who they're going to fill out to have a 5-man rotation. And then by 2027, I think Shane Drohan's going to make that and be a real stud for this team. He had a great first outing in which he showcased. He's got the strikeout stuff, a little more so than any of the other newcomers coming up over this time. And the Brewers were really excited to get him back in the trade for Caleb Durbin, and was a big part of it in moving him from Boston over to Milwaukee. yeah, I'm excited for him. And we talked with him. He was our first interview of the entire experience here. Great guy. I think he's locked in. I think he's got a little bit of psycho in him, like a Chad Patrick.
I
a little
love
bit
that.
of psycho in him.
You need that.
Where,
You need that.
You need it if you want to be on the mound every day, every 5 days in the big leagues. And I think, yeah, Shane Drowan, I'm excited for him. Maybe not necessarily quite this year, but I think everyone's going to see the flashes in 2026, and he'll be my quantum leap candidate for 2027.
So, Tommy, is today the day they play England, or do they play them? They didn't play them yesterday.
Yeah, today is the day they play England, Great Britain.
Who's on the bump for? Yeah, who's on the bump for England? What's going on over there? If this Brewers team loses to England, what does that say? Is that a bad look for the Brew Crew if they lose to England's team?
If they lose to England, you might have to sell Walsall. I think that's kind of how things go. You got to get it back over to those left side of the road drivers over there in Great Britain. Yeah, I'm excited to see what's going on. I mean, maybe the biggest name though on the Great Britain team is Jazz Chisholm, second baseman for the New York Yankees, and that's because the Bahamas eligible to be a part of Great Britain as well, similar to how Curacao and Aruba are available for the Netherlands teams. So excited to see they got Jacob Langhorne and Jack Seppings.
Leghorn, is that?
Yeah, right. Exactly. Not guys you will see on maybe the big league club in 26 by any means, but a couple guys in the organization that are going to be a part of the Great Britain team today. So interesting to see what they'll do to perform. We talked to Murphy today. It sounds like Jacob Mizorowski is going to get multiple innings today. Sounds like Kyle Harrison's going to get multiple innings today. Nice. It'll be a fun time. I'm excited for it, and it is just beautiful out here. I can't emphasize that enough. And it's going to be nice to just watch a baseball game in this amazing
Tommy, how many people do they expect at these games on a daily basis?
I think the capacity of the stadium is somewhere around 8,000, but I think typically you're looking at more of the 3 to 4 range. I was curious to know if the Sunday game we went to see would be maybe the highest attended game because it's a weekend. I mean, I don't know if kids go to school in Arizona. They don't in Wisconsin. But you have a middle of the day Arizona game that is on a Tuesday afternoon, right? I don't know what the crowd's going to look like here.
But there's a lot of like the snowbird, like a lot of people leaving Wisconsin that like live down there, and they're just going to pop out and watch a nice afternoon Monday or Tuesday afternoon.
A lot of Brits are probably following the team around.
Yeah.
Exactly. I have not seen the King anywhere yet to see if he's going to come watch the game. But there have not been any flags walking
Prince Harry,
around.
like any of the
Meghan Markle.
Meghan Markle, they live in LA. They could just pop over pretty easy.
Yeah. Meghan and Harry, I'll keep an eye out for them. If I see them, they will be on spring training live. Because why else do we do this?
Why wouldn't they want to come see the Miz? He's going to be the most exciting thing that happens to Great Britain this entire World Baseball Classic.
Yeah, the Rockets' red glare is what they're calling him today. That is Jacob Mizorowski.
Yes, that's awesome.
Tommy, did you? I saw an article today that some people were a little upset that Scooball was facing Great Britain when they get into pool play, and that I can't remember who was it Mexico that they were the best team that they're facing. But it's going to be Skeens who's facing them. So it's not like, and it's like, and they're still trying to keep the pitchers on their normal days, to get them ready for the regular season. They have to be cognizant of that as well, right?
Right. And Scooble not only just throwing the one game, he's got a 55 pitch count, which I mean, Freddie Peralta would do that in 2 innings in Milwaukee. So I don't know. I don't know how long he's going to be out there. And it's interesting with him having the contract situation as to why maybe that would be the case. He's just going to throw in pool play, and then they won't see Tarek Skubal for the rest of the WBC. But this is kind of the first taste, and I know in Team USA, they're playing an exhibition, I believe in Scottsdale. They're in Arizona somewhere today. Bryce Terang is the starting second baseman for Team USA today.
Let's go.
He should be. But it'll be interesting to see this Great Britain team. And as far as the Scooble comments, Yeah, I mean, he's going to get paid $50 million a year. Why blow it against Great Britain in the WBC, where I'm pretty sure Scooble can go 85% and strike out 95% of the Great Britain team.
Yeah, totally.
By the way, Nico who?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so yeah.
Corner.
That's Nico. Yeah. Nico who?
Have fun in Chicago, buddy.
Yeah, you jerk. Nice. So you're just what'd you have to eat? Any highlights? Did you have Mexican? Did you have Mexican food at Burger King, by the way?
Dude, I love that. I posted on my Snapchat. You know how it is. The location on Snapchat is always wrong. And I made a post that, Tim Allen was crushing tacos yesterday. He wanted tacos so bad. And we went to this Mexican restaurant, La Cocina Económica. I took 2 semesters. I took 2 semesters in college. No big deal.
I can tell.
And Tim Allen had a plate of tacos, so I took a picture of him eating, and I went to go look at the Snapchat location, and it said Burger King. There's a Burger King next door, so the geolocation went that far. And you have no idea how many people actually think that we were eating tacos at Burger King on a plate. Meanwhile, like a ceramic plate was at this place. And I was like, I can't believe, the caption I put was, I can't believe they serve tacos at Burger King in Phoenix. I had so many people. We had our teammate Radar say, you went to Phoenix and you went all the way to Burger King. And I thought, Radar, you have to be smarter than that. You just have to be smarter than thinking that wasn't a joke.
He's a Cubs fan. He's a Cubs fan, Tommy.
Yeah. So I expect nothing less from Radar for sure.
Yeah. All right.
Well, nice. Yeah. Speaking of Cubs, they're playing the Cubs tomorrow, right?
Yeah. That'll be a fun one.
Nice.
Excited to see that. Get a little bit of rivalry going.
Tell Craig we say hi, and the girls don't play till Thursday night, so he's good.
Look, I would do that for you, but I also am attached to Tim at the hip. And if I say hi to Craig Counsell with Tim right next to me, it wouldn't be FCC friendly, it feels like sometimes.
Man.
Okay. All right. Good to know.
Yeah, battle in the desert. Let's get it.
So it's, it's tonight, every night, 5 to 7, Tim and Tommy getting it done, bringing the best baseball coverage, like literally in the history of Earth.
I think so.
Yeah.
And I just tried this one time. This is just the first time I've ever done it. Imagine how much better it's going to be.
I think I need to come to spring training next year with
Mace, you do. Yeah.
And I'll just come and I'll just golf, and then I'll come to the games and hang out. But
that could be a fun segment to get an interview with Crosby on the golf course.
Exactly.
Like while everyone's at spring training together.
Yeah, exactly. Man, the golf courses are wide open right now. What's going on?
Could you imagine the conversation between Pat Murphy and Mason Crosby on the links? I mean, that would be must-listen radio.
Get me out with some of the pitchers. Yeah, let's go play with the guys. I'll just take them, and we'll have some one-on-one battles out there.
Love it.
All right, that's in. That's in for next year. We got this dialed in.
Tommy Wirtz in Arizona. Listen to him today through Friday, 5 to 7 p.m. with Tim Allen. That picture is unbelievable.
I tried to show you guys. I'm literally 18.
Were you a 56-year-old man as an 18-year-old? Like, you just look old there. A little bit. That hair?
I don't know.
What are you doing with your hair, bro? That's all.
My hair. You see my hair right now? I don't.
Yeah, it looks normal. Yeah, it looks normal now. All right.
It's a little more gray now.
So are we playing? Do you want us to play Drohan back in the 1 o'clock hour? Is that cool? Or are you guys? What's
do that? Yeah.
Okay.
That 1:20 Shane Drohan. That'll be awesome. He was great.
Awesome.
It was the first interview of spring training for us down here. It'll be a blast to listen to.
Love that. All right, Tommy.
Appreciate you, Tommy.
Yep.
Enjoy it.
Stay well. Stay healthy. Give Timmy a big hug for us.
All right. Love you guys. Miss you.
Love you too, Tommy.
Later.
Oh, I love you.
I love you, buddy.
Oh, I love it. And he's gone. That was great. Yeah. I mean, he's living his best life. I don't know.
Really.
I don't know what we were doing, talking to plumbers. And he's like in Arizona doing all the things.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, just out there in the sunshine, cruising around.
Doesn't seem totally fair. I got to be honest. Doesn't seem totally fair.
I got to hit a lot asked to go down there?
Right, I got to hit a lot more buttons now. I have no idea what I'm doing here.
We'll make him pay for it when he comes back.
I got a quick funny one when we get back. I got a
let's
quick
do it.
funny one for you. And then Peter Bukowski, Locked On Packers and the Leap. He's going to join us at the top of the 1 o'clock hour. He wrote a nice article about how, like, Gutekunst said they have to finish games better, but it seems like nobody in Green Bay has a plan on how to finish games. We got to talk about Rich. Yeah, we got to talk about Rich Bisaccia as well. New job for Rich. Mazel tov. We wish you luck in your future endeavors.
Fascinating.
Ridiculous.
That he would leave the Packers and go take another job right away.
Yeah, college job. This is the Macy Crosby Show, presented by Verizon.
Yeah.
Just, just a chill Tuesday, right?
Soothing.
This is the Mason Crosby Show presented by Verizon. I'm Mitch Nellis. He's Mason Crosby. Tommy's in Arizona. Peter Bukowski, Locked On Packers. The Leap going to join us at the top of the 1 o'clock hour. Talk all things Packers. Breece Hall from the Jets gets the franchise tag.
Yeah.
Kenneth Walker III does not.
Yeah.
So if you want K9 to be your running back, he's going to get paid by somebody.
Yeah. Not the Packers.
No. We only got about 90 seconds here. Mace, I got a question for you.
Okay.
You've been to a sporting event where you've been a fan, not as a player, but as a fan.
Yep.
And you know that during the halftime they've acts and all started with the woman with the bowls, the China bowls, and she would and now they got guys balancing on crazy skateboards and funnels and play. Who goes into their garage and figures out I can balance on 5 skateboards all facing different ways and then a basketball on top of it just so basketball teams will get me in to do the halftime show? Who figures out, who has that type of time and space and patience?
But I love it. Yeah, I was at the Belmont basketball game, and the guy had a little dog that came out of a basket.
Okay.
I mean, it didn't do really anything awesome, but everyone was cheering. It jumped through a little hoop that was a foot off the ground. I'm like, that's not that impressive, but we all loved it. And the guy, he was balancing on basketballs. I don't know, you find that that little niche, and then people sign you up to do things.
I mean, it's crazy. Some of these, I'm like, how who thought of quick change? Oh, I'm gonna have 5 outfits on, and they're all gonna be tearaway.
Just rip them away. I love that.
Crazy. He's Mason Crosby. I'm Mitch Nellis, aka Thunder. Peter Bukowski, Locked On Bucks, and The Leap. He's gonna join us next. We are presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. Is Tommy ever coming back? Nobody knows.
I don't think so.
a Super Bowl champion.
The Green Bay Packers have won the Super Bowl.
The Packers' all-time leading scorer.
A game winner for Mason Crosby.
It's time for the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Nellis, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers, on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, and on the free Odyssey app.
Welcome into hour number 2 of the Mason Crosby Show. I'm Mitch Nellis. He's Mason Crosby. Tommy's in Arizona. We heard from him in the first hour. If you missed that or anything else on the Mason Crosby Show, just text Crosby to 414-677-1250. Just the one word Crosby, Crosby, and you'll get a link to go listen to all the great segments. You can listen to the whole show. You can listen to it on your time. We love when you listen live with us and you're texting in and you're calling in and you're posting on on YouTube or on Twitter. But if you are busy and you want to listen on your time or you miss a show, you can always just text Crosby to the text club and get a link right away to listen. So,
yeah, we want
so
you listening in any time that you can jump on.
Exactly. Peter said he was waiting for a link. I mean, it's in the text message I sent him. But I sent 2 texts in a row. Gosh. So he might have missed the one that had the link because there was so much information in the other one.
Don't let Tommy think that he's like irreplaceable here.
Come
on,
I know. It's
yeah. No, we need Tommy. We need Tommy, but you're making it work, Mitch. Let's, while we're waiting for Peter, let's talk about real quick Rich Bisaccia. Yeah, yes. Going to Clemson.
Yep.
Surprises the Packers organization, steps down. I guess, did he officially, did he say he was retiring? Wasn't that the news we got, that he was retiring? Was that just from coaching special teams in the NFL or from the Green Bay Packers? I find it fascinating. I feel like it has to do with what, that culture of special teams is there in Green Bay, where he felt like he had zero influence, zero control over any kind of personnel decisions to, get the right people in charge and I guess are in place
right
on those units. And so now he's going to go to college, where I'm assuming he'll at least maybe have a little bit more power there. I think I saw connection wise, like he had as a relationship with Dabo Sweeney. So, I guess that makes sense. I actually texted Rich last night. He hearted my message back. I just said good luck there in Clemson.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah. So,
that's nice.
All season, honestly, he texted me and was just like, hey, we just landed in Denver. Remember when you were playing here and all the great moments. Hope you're doing well. So, we still text back and forth every once in a while.
Yeah. So we should get him on the show at some point.
Yeah, I think we should get him on and just talk about a little bit of this stuff.
The question is, how tough of the questions do we ask him?
Yeah,
exactly. And what's he willing to answer once he's entrenched to Clemson? Not today, not tomorrow, but if after next season, or maybe even in August.
Yeah.
How much is he at that point willing to say?
I'm sure he'd keep it pretty close to the vest, but I'm sure he's also, he's a candid guy. If he decides to come on, I bet he would just kind of share candidly what his experience was and why he chose to leave. I'm not sure going to college means that I don't know. I guess you get to recruit. So maybe he can, he has a part of his deal was that he can recruit specific players.
Yep.
Have 3 to 5 guys that these are my guys.
And college is different too, though, Mason.
You literally have special teams units.
Right.
Yeah.
You got 100 guys on the roster.
Yeah. So you got you can basically build out the bottom half of the roster is all special teams.
Yeah. That is wild. So I'm trying to send a message to Peter Bukowski on X, and it's not letting me. And he's telling me that Jackwagon Bears fans send him messages all the time, but I don't have a premium account. So I'm guessing that's why I can't message him.
You can't send it. That's awesome.
No. So if you have the blue check mark, you can. they must have a blue check mark. There, I just sent him that message. Yeah. So
exactly.
so Peter will get here eventually. But when you saw, like, what was your initial surprise level when you saw that he was taking that job?
I was pretty surprised because of what transpired there in Green Bay. Obviously, like I wasn't as surprised whenever he actually stepped down from the Packers and moved on from that, because I told you, being there with them a year, like Byron Storer was dialed in on all the things, like kind of had it going. So once Byron got his job, got the job there in Cleveland, I think it just kind of was a natural moment to say, like, all right, I'm kind of done in this space. I'm going to go look for something else.
All right, the Mason Crosby show just got a lot more good looking.
There we go.
Man, that head, man, Peter, man, you just got it. You just, like, you got the hair, you got the gun show going on, like short sleeves. It must be nice out. Peter,
it's not. It's not nice out.
It's not nice.
I need to do laundry. Is the reality.
I hear that. Peter Bukowski, Locked On Packers, and The Leap, joining us now on the Mason Crosby Show. I do not have a blue check mark, so I think Twitter actually like watches me because they're like mad at me for not having a blue check mark. Like, I think it's personal between
just
me and
blocking
Elon.
all thing. Mitch Thunder Nellis.
Oh, what? Mitch Thunder Nellis and Elon Musk boxing match? Who wins? I'm old. I'm old.
I think
fans
you could
win.
pick him. I think you could.
Fans win. Oh, Peter, that's so good. All right, well, Peter, thanks so much for jumping on. And I know we got a lot to talk about. We were talking about Rich Bisaccia, and we want to get back to that. But I wanted to jump on with you because I saw your article about, in response to Brian Gutekunst at the Combine, where he talked about we need to finish better.
Yeah.
And you wrote a great article on your Substack about how, it's great that you say that, but who actually believes that the Packers will figure out how to finish better? So I kind of wanted to let you talk about, what went into writing that article.
Well, I think part of it was we heard Matt LaFleur say it. I talked to you guys from Super Bowl, right? I talked to players that week, talked to Evan Williams, talked to Christian Watson, talked to Romeo Doubs, and they all said it. But what does that mean? What is that?
Mm-hmm.
And what is the reason that it's not happening? And I started to think about, like, okay, no one can really tell me what this is about. And first of all, that's concerning. But then the second thing is, the more I thought about it, guys, you go back to 2023 and 2024 with this team. Well, one of the criticisms last year was they played down to their competition, right? In 2024, they won 7 games by double digits. They beat the crap out of some of the teams that they played, the worst teams that they played, the Cardinals, the Titans, the Colts, the 49ers all banged up, the Dolphins, the Saints. The Saints, they shut out. They beat them, 34-0, something crazy like that. The Seahawks, they blew out these teams. It was they couldn't win the big games. But last year, they did win some big games. Beat the Lions twice. They were playing great in Denver. I do think they were going to win that game before everybody got hurt.
Yep.
Washington in week 2 was a big game. The first Bears game was a big game. So it's like, it's not that they can't finish games. This team, that was sort of the point of the piece, was the Packers don't have a problem finishing games. The Packers don't have a problem starting fast. The Packers don't have a problem with playing down to their competition. What the Packers have a problem with is playing their best when their best is required. And that is the thing that they don't have a solve for, that they don't have an answer for. And I go back to, and maybe I'm misremembering this because I tried to find the article, but I have a memory of BJ Raji quoting Winston Churchill, and maybe I totally made this up, but there's this Winston Churchill quote that does exist about how sometimes your best is not enough and you need to find a way to give more than your best to win. And ultimately, that was what the 2010 team did, right? They found a way to give more than what they had because they had so many injured guys to win a Super Bowl. And the Packers right now, they don't have whatever that is. And I do think it could be just as simple as have your best players. Like the 2010 team had a lot of injuries, but Aaron Rodgers was healthy and Clay Matthews was healthy and Jordy Nelson was healthy and Donald Driver and Greg Jennings and Nick Collins and Charles Woodson and Tramon Williams and Ryan Pickett and BJ Raji. Their best players, by and large, were healthy, and the Packers just haven't had that. And it becomes much easier to finish games when you have your best guys. Like, are you telling me that Micah Parsons wouldn't have made one defensive play in the fourth quarter against the Chicago Bears, that Tucker Kraft wouldn't have made one offensive play to help seal the deal there. Like, you just need your frontline players, and they don't have a solve for that either. So if you can't have either of those things, you have a big problem.
Yeah, Peter. I mean, yeah, this is such an interesting topic because injuries are inevitable. Like, it's a 100% guarantee that you probably won't have all of your best players the entirety of a season. And that's a guarantee for this upcoming season for this Packers team, because Micah Parsons and Tucker Kraft probably won't start the season off healthy. They're going to come in.
We'll see about Zach Tom.
September, early October. Yeah, Zach Tom might not. You're going to be, Christian Watson. You're hoping he's going to be good to go, but Romeo Doubs probably won't be there. So you're making sure you have all the pieces around that as well. So, and then on the defensive side of the ball, is Quay Walker coming back? All these things, like, there's a lot of questions. So in my mind, it starts right now, right, with the people that you have in place.
Yeah.
And you can only do so much in the offseason now, but there does need to be a demand and conversations as they send everyone off in the offseason of what the expectation is of how we're going to come back into the building in April together, and what the demand, and like, you start finishing in practice, you start finishing in workouts and all of these spaces, and the demand comes from the top, throughout the structure of that offseason. So once you get into training camp, it's just finish. And you create, situations that lead to that. And that just has to be a mindset, so that, like, whenever you are tired, whenever it is tough, you finish. And I think that, in my mind, it comes from that top, the coaching tree down, where it's like, there's too many times I remember being in that building. We come off the field in a game, and it was like, I still remember these games where it was like Aaron Jones in the first half, 120 rushing yards. And then we'd come out at the end of the game, either win or loss. And like, it was, well, I messed up. I didn't give the ball to Aaron Jones as much from Matt LaFleur. Right.
Yeah.
And it's like, but you have that choice. Like, so what is that disconnect where it's like, you lose that killer instinct and you're not just finishing off games with what got you there?
It's interesting that your perception of it is the head coach, because my perception of it is, and Aaron Rodgers always used to say that, and again, I'm not saying you're right or wrong or whatever, but that he used to say that the best teams are player-led teams, or the best cultures were player-led cultures. And all the things that you just said, Mason, Micah Parsons said basically chapter and verse at the end of the season.
Yeah.
And he called out, to my ears, he was calling out Rashawn Gary in particular on his team for the effort, for the conditioning, for whatever it is. Like, you can't be in for 2 plays and come out when you're making $25 million a year. That just can't be the standard. That can't be good enough. And your point about that mindset in practice, who do you think, like, the toughest guys on this team are? Probably Micah Parsons, Tucker Kraft, and Josh Jacobs. Would that be a fair top 3 in terms of just like baddest MFers on this team? All 3 were hurt this year. 2 of them season-ending injuries. Josh Jacobs was banged up all year. When you don't have your best, toughest guys to set that tone, either someone else has to step up. Again, that's what Rashawn Gary's, that's what the money's for, as Don Draper would say. Or you need some of these younger guys to step forward, and they just didn't get that. And
you got to have more than 3, and you got to have some of those guys being offensive and defensive linemen.
Exactly.
Like, I feel like those big guys, and I say this all the time on this show, those big guys are the pulse of the football team, right? Like, from little league to the NFL, those big guys set the tone. And if you don't have a guy on there, because I remember our best teams, TJ Lang, Josh Sitton, Brian Balaga, we had Scott Wells, Corey Lindsley, Chad Clifton, Tout. Like, you're not messing with those guys. Like, they will fight you in the streets and they will set the tone. And if a coach said something they disagreed with, they spoke their mind and they said, no, this is a player-led team. That is not how we're going to operate. Like, we're not going to be great if we do that. And it's like, those guys have to set that tone. And I totally agree with you. I think it's from the players, from the Micah Parsons, all that, but they need more than 3 guys, right? Like, they need guys like that are just hungry and they're going to push themselves. And where I bring in the coaching side of it is that they have to allow that too. I felt like last year and we talked about this a lot during the season, LaFleur, it's like we kept saying, unlock this, this team, like let these guys like take this thing over. And it just felt like this management of talent and of players, where the players weren't able to step out from under the coaching identity and take the thing over. Did you feel that at all?
It's so hard to know, right, from the outside, and you have much more experience in that Packers locker room and with, even some of those guys that were there. Kenny Clark not there anymore. Elton Jenkins probably not going to be there much longer either. And of course with Matt LaFleur, but some of the players that they have, like Anthony Belton, the thing they like about Anthony Belton is that he is a big physical dude he wants to put you in the ground every rep. And so where is that toughness though, when your quarterback's getting hit on the sideline in Denver? Where is that toughness when your quarterback's getting hit high by your freaking rival team, guys? The Chicago
Someone has
Bears,
to get a personal foul in that moment.
15-yard penalty on your quarterback
out and hold him down.
Imagine it would have been a brawl if Josh Sitton and TJ Lang had been on the field for that hit. Those guys, it would have been a bench clear. David Bakhtiari too, not as big as those guys, but a tough dude. Like he was not going to suffer fools in those moments.
No.
And that's what you want. That's what you want to have in those. And I think part of it too is Anthony Belton's a rookie, still finding his way. Confidence was actually, I talked to someone who covered him and actually knew him at NC State and said confidence was an issue at times for him. And when he plays with confidence, he is just a dominant football player. But when he's trying to figure out, am I a tackle? Like I'm playing guard. I haven't even practiced at guard. So what am I actually supposed to do here? You don't have
just
the confidence
trying to survive. Yeah.
Right. And so part of that is the way that the Packers operate and have operated forever is, well, we're going to train you everywhere and we're going to figure out where your best spot is. Well, I think sometimes that has guys underwater. And that's a coaching thing too, right? Like that's a decision you make in the coaching room. Adam Stenavich, Luke Butkus, Matt LaFleur, those guys make those decisions together. And I don't think that part set them up to succeed. But like you're Aaron Banks, you're coming in. Your whole thing is they brought you in to be a big, tough SOB. Where was that toughness? And Sean Ryan, come on, man. You're fighting to make this team. Go protect your quarterback. You're coming in here. You're trying to earn a job at center. Where is, and I know he's a big, tough dude, and he projects that way. Read the article that Ty Dudd with him did in Go Long. Like he's actually like that. Like he's a tough-minded guy. I don't know why this is like this. And I do think NFL culture has changed a little bit, even in the last like 5 to 8 years. But I don't think it's changed this much. I really don't. Like it happens in college. It still happens in the NFL. If Justin Herbert got hit like that, even their like bad offensive linemen would be in there trying to fight somebody.
If Caleb Williams got hit like that, the Bears are jumping 100%. A guy. Come on.
100%.
Yeah.
Well, like you look at the teams. Yeah. Bears. I would say like Broncos, Seahawks, Eagles, Patriots. All the teams that were great this year are like playing right up to the edge. I'm not talking about being undisciplined.
No, you're not
and taking cheap shots, but you're gonna play to the edge, and you're gonna set it right if something goes wrong.
Mason, you're not talking about jumping on a pile after
I was just gonna say the name
Keyshawn. Fake tough. To be fake tough. You're talking about guy. Real tough. Peter Bukowski, Locked On Packers, The Leap, joining us on the Mason Crosby Show.
Wait, can I ask Mason a quick question about fake tough guys?
100%.
Sure. You don't have to say anyone's name. But when you were on teams,
but if you do, that'd be cool.
Well, I mean, it would be cool, but like, I have to imagine because like we've all worked, even just not football settings. Like you've worked with someone, or you have a friend who's someone who's like, who is that fake tough guy? Like, how do those fake tough guys get treated in the locker room? Like you carry yourself a certain way, but everyone knows you're not really like that.
Yeah, they get weeded out pretty quick. It's like they're going to get tested all the time. Like it's pretty obvious right away, and that's usually again where training camp and all of those things. Like that's where you build a toughness of a football team, is allowing the locker room to sort out who should be on that roster or not. And if somebody's fake tough, they're either chirping all the time, taking little cheap shots all the time. It should get sorted out during training camp, and those fake tough guys just are not long for a real serious football team in a locker room. So, there were there were maybe a few in my time, but again, it got sorted out pretty quick. If you if you didn't walk the walk and you just were that fake tough.
Peter, did you have anybody in mind?
Look, not anyone that I could think of like off the top of my head, but the Keyshawn Nixon one is a great example. He loves to say things like subtweet certain things that were said. Certain things that might have been said on Locked On Packers from time to time. He's been known to take shots at. So, it's just one of those funny things. I was, again, you can tell it's not that different from like high school. Who's real and who's not. Yeah. And that's just, it is what it is.
I'll tell you a little inside story. Again, because I always chose to be really close with the offensive linemen who protected me on field goals and like the big guys and all that. I felt like one of those, little dogs, stepping up to like, the big guy, but we're in the middle of special teams meeting, and we're doing field goal and field goal block and all that. So all the big guys are in there, and a defensive lineman is just chirping and being disruptive the whole time. I literally, again, this is like how our locker rooms were. And I was a veteran at this time. And so I stand up and I'm like, hey man, like, I get if you don't like think this is the most important thing to you, but like we're trying to win a game and this is our livelihood. Like shut your mouth and pay attention. And chirps back a little bit, but I felt some backing from some of my some of the big guys, the guys, and it leveled its way out. And so those are the types of things. Though I'm curious if like those voices in the room are even like able to come out, right? Like I felt confident enough in that space as a kicker, like where it's like, we're trying to win ball games. Like every aspect of this is super important. We need to lock in whenever we're in these meetings. I like, we just don't know because we're not in that building all the time.
I do wonder if some competitive tension would be good on this football team. They seem like, I remember before 2024, every beat writer, and I'm talking about the veteran guys like Mike Clemens and Tom Silverstein and Bill Huber, who are not prone to hyperbole on this kind of stuff. We're like, it's just the vibes, they feel different, they feel close, they feel connected. And I'm like, yeah, but you know what? You look back at the Super Bowl dynasty team, like there were some bad dudes on those teams and there was some friction behind the scenes. And like the Seahawks Legion of Boom teams, they were getting in fist fights in the freaking locker room. And what that relays is that you've got a locker room full of guys for whom it matters deeply.
They care.
Yeah, and that they want to win. They want to win at every cost. And Russell Wilson, if you're up there acting like a diva and not playing football, we're going to have something to say about it. And then the offensive line have to come in and they protect their quarterback because that's what they're supposed to do. Like, I feel like one thing this team needs is they need to sign, whether they're awesome players or not, I almost don't care. They need to sign some guys, some veteran guys who have not won.
Oh, Peter,
who just want to come in.
I've been saying this.
Who want to come in and say, yo, it is time to want to kill everybody. Like, where is that attitude? Like, that's why someone like Demario Davis from the Saints, I know he's like 38 years old. Okay. And I'm not going to say anything against 38-year-olds because I just turned 39, but that energy, Matt Milano from the Bills knows Bobby Babich come in and like, yes, he's lost the step. He's not doesn't play with the same force that he used to, but he's sick of losing too. And he's going to come in and go, let's get it. Calais Campbell. Yes, he was great last year. Knows Jonathan Gannon. He's trying to search for that Super Bowl championship. You need to bring in those guys. Like, I assume it was like that with Julius Peppers, where like, I know he didn't say a lot, but when he spoke, everyone listened. Like, I just feel like that's one of the things that Ted Thompson missed building those teams is you have to turn it over, not just with young guys, but with veterans who are hungry to come win a championship. Look how much Xavier McKinney loves playing in Green Bay. He was starved to be in a good situation and is now thriving. Like, I think they need to do that, but with culture, because they have the talent. Now they need that culture to push them to the next step, I think.
Yeah, and I think that comes from the top too, where it's like Goody, LaFleur, when these guys come in, or even in that post thing is like, all right, we are going to, like, we need you to unlock this part of your game, not on the field, but in the locker room. Like, you need to be this type of person, and almost like it needs to be a cultural shift of like having open and honest conversations and saying, offensive linemen, like, we need you to be vocal and like dominant leaders in that space. Defensive linemen, all these guys, like, just literally speak into them the type of like type of person. Like there were many guys that like did not have that mentality, but I remember conversations where it's like, we need you to be this. Like get out of your shell a little bit and just be like a different persona in certain spaces so that guys will follow that. You're dominant on the field, but we need your voice and we need this, this.
I think the missing voices of Tucker Kraft not being on the field, because I think he was growing into that. I think that we've understated the impact of that on this offense for sure. He's like, that guy is one of the toughest dudes in the league. Like he is just an incredible football player. And if you listen to Micah Parsons, guys, I've heard stories. Let me tell you a little Micah Parsons story I heard from a Penn State alum who is a former wrestler, and Micah Parsons was a wrestler growing up. He did not think football practice was tough enough. And so he would do football workouts and then go work out with the wrestlers. This guy and think he could beat the guys that like went to the Olympics in wrestling. He just is a competitive psychopath. And I think having the full off season with him in the ear of those guys, listening to the words that he was saying, calling guys out almost by name and saying, this is not good enough. Now he's established in that locker room. It's not walking on eggshells. It's not trying to find my place. It's no, I'm the dude here and everyone has to follow me. And if I'm playing 100 miles an hour, you better play 100 miles an hour too, or it's going to look like you're playing 4 miles an hour because I'm that athletic and I'm that fast. I think he can be that guy, that catalyst that amplifies everybody, that is that force multiplier culturally, because he, like, if you don't follow his example, you are going to look like you are half-assing it. And unfortunately, the Packers had some guys that were, and that's accountability to me, is having your best players show that every single rep, every single day. And it was one of the things, like, Mace, you saw it up close and personal. Like, we joke about Aaron Rodgers and the hand signals and some of that stuff, but he did that because he demanded that level of perfection from everybody. And that trickles down to the rest of your team.
This is an amazing conversation that I'm going to put a stamp on it that says to be continued, because this is one of those to be continued Packers conversations as we see what happens in free agency, as we see what happens in the draft and what decisions are made by the front office. Peter, this was awesome. Thank you so much for jumping on, and we will definitely catch up with you soon.
All right, guys. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it, Peter.
Absolutely. Peter Bukowski, Locked On Packers and The Leap. Find him all over the socials. He is absolutely, I mean, I know I chimed in a couple times, Mason, but I can listen to you guys have that conversation about character in the locker room.
Yeah.
Like, that is such a big deal right now for our Green Bay Packers.
Well, it shapes the culture of your team. So like you have to have those guys. And I do believe that Micah Parsons, everything he said so far is that he's that type of player.
Yep.
And I just hope guys follow suit.
Absolutely. Mason Crosby, Mitch Nelson, aka Thunder. The guys down in Arizona, Timmy and Tommy, had a chance to talk to Shane Drohan earlier today. We're going to play that back when we come back. We're going to eavesdrop a little bit on all the fun they're having in Arizona. This is the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon.
Oh, yeah.
This is the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. Make sure you're following Peter Bukowski at The Leap. He's got a Substack channel there where he writes all his articles and does great coverage of the team and has some strong opinions. And I'm kind of here for it, Mace.
Yeah, I'm all for it.
Yeah,
I was excited about that one.
I agree. I enjoy it. We probably won't get to it today. I know I printed out an article here. Some new food at AmFam Field today this year.
Oh, nice! I know you love that.
Yeah,
I always foodie.
Yeah, I always got to check that out. So I just saw some new barbecue and stuff like that. Obviously, I'm excited for that. I
don't have to wait in lines.
Nah, you might have to. Not for. Oh, I saw this. The Detroit Red Wings are doing some like fill the Zamboni with chicken tenders. Oh. Like it can't be a real Zamboni, but like I wonder if there's like a. I tried to read the article and there wasn't that much information, but I think they're doing like a bucket of chicken tenders you can get at the game.
Heck yeah,
I'm here for that. Like let's go.
That.
I don't know. I don't know what the situation is. I know we got this email last week, Mason, and so but this Saturday night is the Vince Lombardi Cancer Foundation dinner, where you were honored last year. Black tie. It's at the Pfister, of course, on Saturday. I don't know if tickets are still available, but if they are, it's worth going to. I know Cecilia Gore is going to be honored, and it's always a great time. LombardiFoundation.org is where you can get those tickets, and I know it's an organization we both really believe in.
For sure. Yeah, no, that's great. Yeah, I'm glad you plugged that. I didn't realize it was this weekend.
It kind of snuck up on us. I feel like we were going to talk about it, and then it's like, what, so much is going on. It's March already.
It is March already, but it was a great night. Molly and I and the whole family, Thunder and Tommy were there. It was an awesome event last year. Yeah, it was a blast, no doubt. We still have the picture, the five of us, me and Mrs. Thunder, you and Molly and Tommy. That's right. In our, we have that in our living room. Like that's that's just some beautiful people. Just some beautiful people. That's all. Speaking of beautiful people, Tommy Wirtz and Tim Allen are down at spring training right now, and it's March. So speaking of March and of beautiful people, that's right. And they earlier today had a chance to catch up with a brand new player, a brand new pitcher on our Milwaukee Brewers. One of the new members of the Milwaukee Brewers, Shane Drowan, the left-hander, is here with us. Shane, how are you, man?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
More important, how you are. Everything healthy?
Yeah, everything's healthy. Everything's feeling good.
All right, this whole thing about taking pitchers slower a little bit, is that consistent with what you want to do? I mean, you probably want to impress being one of the new guys.
Yeah, obviously you want to, impress everybody being the new guy, but you kind of have to be mature about it, understand it's a long season, and you got to just take this time to ramp up properly. So, you can be in a good spot late in the season, September, hopefully October.
All right. So I remember as a kid collecting baseball cards, and the new series would come out, and they for a couple of years there, they would stamp on the card a big traded sort of flair on the card. So when you were traded, I mean, that's got to be a personal thing. How did you react to that?
I was honestly just really excited. I was already in Fort Myers at spring training with Boston. I was actually in the middle of the physical day. So I was kind of like going through the training room and stuff, meeting with different doctors, going through their little checkpoints. And the pitching coach actually walked in and was just like, "Hey, you finished with this?" And I was like, "No, I got a couple more stations." He's like, "Okay, well, we need to talk to you right now." And I was like, all right. So I was like, I'm either getting traded or this is the fastest someone's ever been optioned to a minor league camp. Right. But yeah, so then I walked in and they kind of just told me, we made a trade, all that stuff. But excitement. I was just excited. It's a fresh start, new people, new system. So, and I mean, the Brewers have had so much success with pitchers. It's something you can't ignore. Even me, somebody who's not super dialed in across the league and paying attention to everything. It's, impossible to ignore the success that you've seen from the Brewers pitchers.
And does that add a little more excitement when a team like Milwaukee is interested in you and really trying to fight for you to get on their big league club?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's always a good feeling when, you're wanted, and especially to be wanted by a place like this, consistently wins. I think you guys used a franchise record last year, correct? And then just yeah, I mean, it's just the arms that are consistently pumped out of here. It's something that you marvel at.
Shane Drowan joining us here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. First outing, how'd you feel after it? A lot of people excited about you, talking about you over on social media. Stuff looked pretty good the first time around.
It felt good. Yeah, that's just what it was first time out. Just get the feet wet, show some good stuff. But, yeah, it was just good to get out there, mix the whole arsenal in, threw a little bit more change-ups than usual. It's kind of been emphasis this off season coming in the spring is just to kind of get that changeup back in the mix a little bit more. Added the slider last year, kind of let the changeup take a back seat, just trying to develop the slider and get really comfortable with it and placing it in certain spots. I felt like I did that last year, and coming into this year, it was just getting that changeup back into it, especially versus righties. I think it's a really good pitch versus the right-handed hitters.
Starter or reliever? Where do you want to be? I'm going to guess starter.
Yeah, I mean, I've always started. I mean, that's just been my whole life in high school, college, and in pro ball. It's where I'm comfortable, but I'm not set in stone there. If, these guys come to me and they're like, hey, we think we want you to come out of the pen, and like I'm open to that. I want to pitch in the big leagues. The title of my job, doesn't really matter. I don't think I've earned really any right to kind of argue what my title should be, right?
You're a good man.
Right. So, yeah, whatever they want me to do, whether it's, throw the first pitch of the game for however many pitches they want, or just throw, 6th, 7th, 8th, whatever they need, I'm ready to go.
Have you ever been to Wisconsin? Been to Milwaukee?
I have not. I have not had the pleasure to be there yet, so I'm excited.
Oh, I think you're gonna love it. Have you heard anything about it?
No, I haven't. Nothing. Okay, I know it can get cold, but it's
beer,
really cold.
Brats, cheese, Brewers, Packers. You a football fan?
I am. Not a Packers guy, but big football. Dolphins.
Dolphins.
Yep.
Even worse.
Yeah, Dolphins.
Well, Shane, good luck this year. And if there's one thing you're really working on, I know you brought up the changeup, but if it's something that you want to see that Shane Drowan did in 2026, what are you looking for?
I would say I'd really like to cut down the walk rate. I think I did a good job last year, especially against lefties. But I think the right-handers, I walked a little bit too many. I think I'd really like to see that come down. I think that just starts with the fastball command, and then throwing everything in the zone, throwing the pitches out of the zone when I really want to. But yeah, I think it's just cut down the walk rate, especially to righties.
Have you talked to Murph one-on-one yet?
I have a little bit.
He's quite the character,
yeah,
huh?
He's awesome. I'm enjoying it. I like him.
No, you can give him grief once in a while.
No, I really like it. I like his. I like just how he is. He's always making me laugh.
He's a good dude. Shane Drowan, man. Good luck. We'll talk this year. All right.
Thank you.
There is Shane Drowan, new lefty for our Milwaukee Brewers, part of the Caleb Durbin trade from the Boston Red Sox. Makes a couple things that that stood out to me is that concept of ramping up the right way. Like you can be real excited and want to do everything at once, especially when you're on a new team. You want to impress the fans, you want to impress your teammates, the coaches, but you just got to you can't speed up that process. You got to ramp up the right way. And then talking about like the national reputation now that the Milwaukee Brewers have for bringing arms along and getting arms to. The Milwaukee Brewers are looked at by somebody on the Boston Red Sox as like a great place to be for young arms. That's great.
It's known now, and obviously it's the reputation precedes itself. And what I loved about it was I'm not going to define what I am here in Milwaukee. It's like I'm going to let my play and what I'm doing on a daily basis define that.
Yeah.
And I think that's like the perfect mindset for a young pitcher, guy that's stepping into a new space. He's going to absorb everything. And if he needs to be a reliever, the start of this thing, he just wants to play in the big leagues. He wants to have a chance. And then, I think like what Tommy said might be spot on. All of a sudden in 2027, we see this guy, being a full-time starter.
Yeah, I'm excited for it, and I'm excited to see what they do today with Mizorowski pitching against Great Britain. That'll.
What do you think his first pitch? What do you think his first pitch? Do you think he goes over 100? Okay. Do you think he's
103, 104? I think
just gas?
That's a little spot of tea for you.
Yeah, exactly.
That
you got to throw that hot. You got to throw that heat
that
right
high
off
cheese, right?
Right off
that Limburger.
Exactly.
Let's go. All right, we're gonna wrap things up with Mason's extra point when we come back here on the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon.
What's on Mason Crosby's mind today?
Now I'm thinking.
It's time for Extra Points, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Nellis.
Tell me what's on your mind.
On the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
All right. Thanks for listening to the Mason Crosby Show. We are presented by Verizon. Tommy's out in the desert. Mitch and I holding it down here in Wisconsin. Appreciate everybody listening. I did see, and I don't know if you saw this, Mitch, Chicago Bears are the front runner betting odds for getting a trade with Max Crosby. What do you feel about that? Yeah, I wonder what everybody.
They've been talking about it for a couple weeks now. Like, I don't know who's friends with who, but like I think his agent is the same as somebody else, and they're all buddies there. And I'd be surprised if they traded him. I'd be surprised. I think the Raiders. So? I think at the end of the day, I think the Raiders keep him.
Okay,
but if he went to the Bears, I wouldn't like that. I wouldn't like.
Yeah,
that
I think they're saying. I think it's like it'd probably take like first, second, maybe DJ Moore. They're kind of talking again. If the Raiders think like, okay, we're gonna get Mendoza. Do we need another like a receiver, like a veteran guy?
Well, they definitely
DJ
need
Moore?
offensive help.
Yeah, so I mean,
yeah, you're right. You're right. That's a good point.
It doesn't not make sense, but yes, that's worrisome. I think if Chicago Bears got a guy like Max Crosby, as Packers fans, I don't think we would feel really excited about that one.
No, I don't like that at all. Purdue Fort Wayne at UW Green Bay tonight in the first round of the Horizon League tournament. Green Bay 4.5-point favorites in that one. It's on ESPN Plus at 7:00 tonight. So if you want
does
to
Green Bay needs to win their conference tournament to get in?
Yeah. I mean, they're 17-14. I think even I don't even know who won their conference, but whoever even like if they lost, they're out. That is the Horizon League, unless they have somebody who's like 29-2, they are one team and that's it. And Green Bay has a chance. I mean, there's they finished they either finished second or third in the conference.
Oh, really?
So like they got a shot.
17-14.
Yeah, well, they were bad to start the season and they got better in conference.
Okay.
So they got a shot. They get, you never know what happens, and
great,
right? And all it takes is you got to get hot the right day. Those conference tournaments are fun. We're in it now. Like conference tournaments are here.
This is a great time of year.
This week, especially next week. The Badgers wrap things up against Purdue this weekend, and then that conference tournament starts. Obviously, Marquette playing at Madison Square Garden. That's always the best. The Big East has Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, exactly.
And even in a down year for Marquette, like Madison Square Garden's the best.
It's still fun. Yeah. And so what do you think? Like if Wisconsin, I mean, are they kind of in like a 6 to 8 spot?
Yeah,
like,
I think they're in there. I would
if
love
they
to
lose
see them,
one and done in the Big Ten tournament, they might fall to 8.
I'd love to see them get up to 6. I'd love just get 7's tough, 8's no good. 7's tough. Man, 6 you got a shot to make the Sweet 16.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd love to see them get up to that 6 seed for sure. That'd be fun.
That's what I'm rooting for.
Yeah.
And then obviously I went to a Belmont game, so I'm hoping Belmont now. I'm a big Belmont Bruins fan.
Like, they're real. And they've been good for a while. Like they've had a good program for a while there.
Yeah, exactly. I remember what was that in the tournament? They were, I think it was like 2019. They made a little run in the tournament.
Yeah.
So,
He's Mason Crosby. I'm Mitch Nelson. We are the Mason Crosby Show presented by Verizon. Steve Sparky Pfeiffer, Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's. Coming up next here. We'll do it. See you tomorrow.
Yep. Later.